That's why in the first 100 days, I have taken action to roll back burdensome regulations that undermine community banks, especially, I know you're going to be very disappointed at this, Dodd-Frank, right? No, it's out of control. And by the way, not only for community banks, for banks, period. We can take community out of that one, right? No, Dodd-Frank, we're working on that right now, and you'll see a very big difference.
In the first year of his administration, Donald Trump bragged about rolling back the regs that likely would have kept Silicon Valley Bank from imploding last week. Now that the feds are investigating what brought down the tech-invested lender, let's talk about the investigation's focus and why it's important. Welcome to TYT's Overruled. I'm your legal analyst, Adrienne Lawrence. On Tuesday, the Justice Department announced that it's investigating the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. That is, after the feds had to take over the California lender late last week when too many customers pulled out their cash. While Fox News and many other right-wingers would love to focus on the bank's DEI efforts, that is, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Here's the part where you pause and ask yourself a question that too few seem to be considering right now. They're doing this. What are they going to get in return? Oh, something, for sure. Remember that after 2008, the Obama administration, Eric Holder, swooped in and imposed DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion standards on the entire financial sector. And that's one of the main reasons our big banks are now increasingly incompetent, and also one of the reasons Americans are so divided by race. Ideologues used the 2008 bank bailout to kill American meritocracy. That's a big step, mostly unacknowledged, but we're living with its consequences.
That DEI dog whistle is a waste, especially given that SVB's leadership wasn't big on diversity. What do I mean by that? Well, Andy Kessler, writing for Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal, wrote this inflammatory and implicitly biased statement. SVB notes that besides 91% of their board being independent and 45% women, they also have one black, one LGBTQ+, and 2 veterans. I'm not saying 12 white men would have avoided this mess, but the company may have been distracted by diversity demands. So Silicon Valley Bank's 11 directors are white and wealthy, and the youngest is 53 years old. That's less diverse than any of the nation's top 5 banks, and that may have been why the bank probably tanked. It's been well known that diversifying an organization means greater profits, innovation, and success. Anyway, it's not entirely clear what the feds will focus on during their investigation of Silicon Valley Bank. But one focus should be on how the bank execs sold shares moments before the bank's failure. This per the New York Times. The sales generated millions of dollars in proceeds, though some of the bank's executives sold stock pursuant to insider selling plans that set the timing of such sales in advance. Such plans are set up by corporate executives to avoid the appearance of trading on confidential information. For example, SVB's former chief executive, Gregory Becker, unloaded about $3 million at around $287 per share on March 1, less than 2 weeks before the bank tanked. While some politicians believe the execs should return any money that they made on their stocks, it's not clear that the investigators will look at those sales. Let's be real here. The system is set up to protect wealthy white cishet men, and it's always been since the day the Constitution was drafted. But when those with a little modicum of power, well, they start to use leveling the playing field, well, Fox News, Florida's leadership, and a lot of the right-wing coalition will blame things like SVB's failure on black people. Because again, that's what's reportedly the issue here. One black dude being on the board and several LGBTQ, because why not make the queer community your target? You know, us as progressives really need to step up because we do have a reputation of also being racist, sexist, and all sorts of other ists. So if we actually want to be different, let's do something different, which means use our power, use our voice to stand up and step up, because that would be awesome, especially given that all of the ills in society seem to be pushing a certain way. Well, that's based on the, peer-reviewed research. Then again, I just like science here. But those are my thoughts. You let me know yours in the comments below. Hit that like and follow button, and thanks for watching.